We got some news today, and it's not good for NCSoft, or I guess really MMO fans in general. And to be clear, Throne and Liberty has not launched yet in the West, but could NCSoft be staring down a failure? 12 freaking years in the making. But hey, at least there's one MMO that's doing well for them right now. Let's get into it. In early December of last year, NCSoft launched their huge MMO, Throne and Liberty. One that has been reworked several times during its development cycle for a more broad appeal. A development cycle that has spanned over a decade and has been tied into other potential titles, like Project E. Quick reminder for those who don't remember Project E, because there's been so much freaking news around Throne and Liberty, especially with like its autoplay issues that they had and removed, that a lot of it gets lost. Well, Project E was the game that was announced with Throne and Liberty that is supposed to be tied to Throne and Liberty in some way. It wasn't clear if it's going to be an MMO, an RPG, or something else, just that it exists in the same world and they are connected. We haven't heard much since then, except this beautiful trailer that we got. So what exactly is going on that's ringing some alarm bells for people that are both excited and probably like making people that are not excited feel a little bit justified with NCSoft's big new MMO title? Well, they released some financials from their launch. Kind of, not really. They actually hid most of them, but there's a lot within that we can dig into. NCSoft released their Q4 2023 results, the same quarter that Throne and Liberty launched in Korea, and boy, was it not good. And despite it not being good, there was one glaring omission in this. We didn't get a full breakdown. As Massively OP reports, this is the first slide in ages from NCSoft where they haven't broken down their PC numbers and their financials. Even alluding to the last time they recall this was when WildStar was a thing in 2016. Massively OP also reports that during the call they were taken to task about hiding those numbers, at which point they admitted that Throne and Liberty had underperformed. And this is something that many of us had suspected, or at least started to whisper about, when we saw several server merges early in January. Now, server mergers after a launch are not necessarily a bad thing, and there's something that every MMO company should do to be proactive. When you, especially in this day and age of the MMO tourist, the age that allows games like New World to hit almost 1 million players, Lost Ark hit 1.3 or 1.4 million players, and then quickly crater. Because as a fan base, we're very interested in finding a new MMO, but we also quickly learn that MMO isn't what we want, so we leave. So that creates kind of this issue when it comes to like spooling up servers to deal with that. And then kind of trying to consolidate them when that initial rush goes away. It's one of those age-old problems, but damn, you'd think that we would have had, by this point, decades into the MMORPG genre, we'd have a better fix for it than just throwing up lots of servers and closing lots of servers. It's been that way since EverQuest and World of Warcraft launched, after all. It's messy and it causes issues. No one wants to wait in a long queue to play their game, but at the same time, no one wants to play on an empty server either. Still, just a month after launch, they cut down their servers a lot. From 18 servers on December 7th down to just 7 servers in January. It's really kind of extreme. In total, Q4 sales for PC were down 1%. For NCSoft. That's down 1% in a quarter where you've launched your brand new MMO that you've been working on for so damn long, that you have delayed to just get it right. Now granted, financial Q4 would have ended on December 31st, and Throne and Liberty launched on December 7th. That's not a ton of time, but still, how bad did your quarter have to be that this hyped MMO launch actually drug your financials down? This is even highlighted more by the fact that among NCSoft's other PC titles, Guild Wars 2 overperformed in Q4 in the NAEU sales with a 15% increase. NCSoft has been performing well in the NAEU markets lately, but it's all largely because of Guild Wars 2 doing well. If they're banking on Amazon release of Throne and Liberty to save them, it's simply gotta be a bigger market equals bigger revenue. But that hasn't necessarily worked out for other titles Amazon has published recently, with Lost Ark middling around 40k players and New World, despite concerted efforts by Amazon to feed contents and updates to that game, struggling to stay above 10 to 15,000 players concurrently. I am not a fan of NCSoft. They have spearheaded some of the worst trends in monetization, things that just frustrate me to no end. And I don't even necessarily believe that Throne and Liberty would be a game that I'll personally enjoy, though of course I'll try it out to let you know how it is, but that doesn't mean that I ever wanted it to fail. I don't want Throne and Liberty to fail, and even NCSoft to fail, because I feel like it's really important for the genre to get a win, and a AAA win at that. We've missed out on the win for a long time. Something I've talked about in lots of videos on here is that it just feels like we are desperate as an MMO genre, as players of those games, for something new that's not just another new good expansion, something that would actually like revitalize the genre and kind of bring it back towards its heights when people were really buzzing about MMOs. It's been bleak. It's been bleak for a long time. I would absolutely love to make a video on MMOs, like what MMO should you play in 2024, and it not be all the same MMOs. I would love to at least throw a new one on there, something worth testing and trying out, and we're struggling with that. But I guess there is still a bright side to all this. I mean, for all we know, Throne and Liberty could still be good, and I mean, my main concerns about it aren't always necessarily gameplay with Throne and Liberty. It's more about like, what is Amazon gonna do with the really troubling monetization stuff that is in the current Korean version? Will it be muted, or will it even be exacerbated by Amazon at this point? And then what does that say for Amazon's future Lord of the Rings MMO? I don't want to even get to that. There's a bright side, right? There's a bright side. I want to talk about the bright side of this. And it's the fact that Guild Wars 2 is actually not dead. It is still a thriving MMO, something that I covered in this video right here, and that I would encourage you to go watch just to kind of wash out this bad news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Edward Flynn, and I hope you have a wonderful day.